My knees are soaking wet, and my hands won't stop shaking. I'm 72 years old, and I'm scrubbing dried spaghetti sauce off kitchen tiles that aren't even mine. The brush slips in my grip. Arthritis makes everything harder these days, and I have to stop, breathe, start again. You missed a spot. I look up. Jessica stands over me, arms crossed, one hip cocked like she's posing for a photo. Her nails are perfect, red, sharp-looking. Mine are broken and stained with cleaning solution. Right there, she points with one of those nails. By the cabinet. I shift my weight, and pain shoots through my left knee. The one I had surgery on 2 years ago. The one that never quite healed right after Harold died, and I stopped going to physical therapy because what was the point? I see it, I say quietly. Do you? Her voice has that edge. The one she uses when Daniel isn't home. Because I've been watching you work for 20 minutes, and somehow you keep missing the same spots over and over. I dip the brush back in the bucket. The water's gray now, filthy. I've been at this since lunch. I'm doing my best, Jessica. Jessica. She laughs, but it's not a real laugh. You know, you used to call me honey, back when you pretended to like me. I did like you, I want to say. I tried so hard to like you. But I don't say anything. I've learned that's safer. She walks to the counter, and her heels click against the tile, the clean tile, the parts I already scrubbed. She pours herself a glass of wine. It's 2 in the afternoon. My mother called today, she says, swirling the glass. Asked how you were doing, if you were settling in okay. I scrub harder. The sauce is stuck, baked into the grout. I told her you were fine, happy even, that you love helping around the house. She takes a sip. I didn't mention that you sit in your room most of the day doing nothing. Eating our food, using our electricity. Our food, our electricity. Like I'm a stranger. Like I didn't raise the man who pays for all of it. I appreciate you letting me stay here, I say, because that's what she wants to hear. That's what keeps the peace. Letting you? She sets the glass down hard. You didn't exactly give us a choice, Daniel insisted. Said we couldn't put his mother in a home after Dad died. Harold. His name was Harold. You could at least make yourself useful, she continues, instead of just taking up space. My hand slips, and the brush clatters against the tile. Soapy water splashes onto my cardigan, the blue one Harold bought me for our 40th anniversary. I haven't washed it in weeks. I sleep in it sometimes, when the loneliness gets too heavy. Look at you. Jessica's voice is different now, sharper, meaner. Like she's been saving this up. You can't even clean a floor properly. What exactly did you do all those years? Daniel turned out fine despite you, not because of you. The words hit like a slap. I raised him. I packed his lunches and helped with his homework and held him when he cried about his first heartbreak. I taught him to be kind, to be gentle, to respect women. And this is the woman he chose. I'm sorry, I whisper, because what else can I say? I'll do better. You're 72 years old. She laughs again, and this time it's cruel. How much better can you get? I want to stand up. I want to look her in the eye and tell her exactly what I think of her wine at 2 p.m., and her designer purses, and the way she talks to her husband like he's a child. But my knees won't cooperate. And even if they did, where would I go? Daniel is at work. He won't be home until 6. I'm alone with her. I dip the brush again. Scrub, breathe, scrub. At least now you're finally doing something useful, Jessica says, instead of just sitting around eating our food. She walks away, heels clicking. I hear her go into the living room, hear the TV turn on, some reality show where people scream at each other. My hands are wrinkled and red, gripping that brush like it's the only thing keeping me upright. Water pools around my knees, seeping through my pants. Everything hurts my back, my hands, my heart. I used to have a house. A beautiful house with a garden and a porch swing where Harold would sit with me in the evenings. We'd watch the sunset and talk about Daniel, about how proud we were of the man he'd become. Then Harold died. Heart attack in the driveway. I found him next to his car, keys still in his hand. The house was too big after that, too empty, too full of memories that made it hard to breathe. Daniel insisted I move in. "Mom, you can't be alone right now," he'd said. "We have plenty of space." Jessica had smiled, hugged me. "Of course, Mom. Stay as long as you need." That was 6 months ago. I finished the spot by the cabinet. My vision is blurry from the cleaning solution, I tell myself. Not from tears. I rock back on my heels, trying to stand, when I hear it. A car in the driveway. I freeze. It can't be. Daniel doesn't get home until 6, and it's barely 4:30. But that's his car. I know the sound of the engine, the way it ticks when he turns it off. In the living room, the TV goes silent. Is that? Jessica's voice is different now. Higher, worried. I'm still on the floor, brush in hand, when the front door opens. "Honey, I'm home." Daniel. Footsteps in the hallway. He's coming to the kitchen. I look up at Jessica. For the first time all day, all month, maybe I see something real in her face. Fear. She rushes toward me, and for a second I think she's going to help me up. Instead, she crouches down next to me, her voice suddenly sweet, syrupy. "Oh, let me help you, Mom. You shouldn't be working so hard." But it's too late. Daniel is standing in the doorway. He's still in his work clothes, slacks and a button-down, tie loosened. His briefcase is in his hand, and he's smiling, but the smile freezes when he sees us. Me on the floor, soaking wet, brush in hand. Jessica crouched beside me, fake concern painted on her face. The bucket, the dirty water, my trembling hands. His eyes move from me to Jessica, then back to me. The smile disappears. "Mom?" His voice is quiet, careful. "What are you doing?" I open my mouth, but Jessica beats me to it. She insisted on helping. She stands up, brushing off her knees even though she barely touched the floor. "You know how she is, honey. She gets restless just sitting around." I told her she didn't have to, but... Mom, Daniel isn't looking at Jessica. He's looking at me. Really looking at me. "How long have you been down there?" I don't know what to say. If I tell the truth, I'll ruin his marriage. If I lie, I'll ruin myself. So I do what I've been doing for 6 months. I protect him. "I wanted to help," I say softly. "Jessica's right. I was just..." "Show me your hands." "Daniel, she's fine," Jessica starts. "Show me your hands, Mom." Slowly, I open my palms. They're red and swollen, the knuckles inflamed. The arthritis is bad today, worse than usual. Daniel stares at my hands. I watch his face change confusion, then realization, then something that looks like rage. "How long has this been going on?" He's not asking me. He's asking Jessica. "I don't know what you..." "How long?" The air in the kitchen goes cold. Jessica's mouth opens and closes. For once, she has nothing to say. And in the silence, with my son finally seeing me, really seeing me, I realize something. This is it. The moment everything changes. I stay on the floor. Daniel is still staring at my hands, and I watch something shift behind his eyes. Something I haven't seen in months, maybe longer. He's paying attention. Really paying attention. "They're just a little sore," I say quickly. "The doctor said I should keep moving them, keep them active." "That's not what the doctor said." Daniel's voice is flat. He sets his briefcase down slowly, deliberately. "Dr. Chen said you needed to rest them, that too much strain would make the inflammation worse." Jessica laughs, that bright, fake laugh she uses at dinner parties. "Well," she insisted, "honey, you know how stubborn your mother is." She moves toward him, arms outstretched for a hug, but Daniel sidesteps her. His eyes haven't left my face. "Mom." He crouches down, and suddenly we're eye level. This close, I can see how tired he looks. There are lines around his eyes I don't remember being there before. "Tell me the truth. How long have you been cleaning like this?" My mouth goes dry. This is the moment. I could tell him everything: how Jessica wakes me at 7 every morning with a list of chores. How she times me, standing there with her phone, tutting when I take too long. How she started measuring the food in the fridge, portioning out exactly how much I'm allowed to eat. How small she's made me feel. But when I look at Daniel's face, my boy, my son, I see more than just tiredness. I see strain, marriage strain. The kind that comes from working 60-hour weeks and coming home to a wife who isn't happy. If I tell him the truth, I'll break something. Maybe something that's already cracked, but still. Just today, I hear myself say. I spilled some sauce earlier and wanted to clean it up. That's all. Daniel's eyes search mine. He knows I'm lying. I can see it. But he doesn't push. Instead, he stands and turns to Jessica. Why didn't you clean it up? His voice is still quiet, but there's an edge now. Or call someone to help. Jessica's smile tightens. I was about to, but she grabbed the bucket before I could stop her. You know how she is. She doesn't like being treated like she's helpless. She walks over and touches Daniel's arm, her fingers trailing down to his hand. I've been worried about her, actually. She's been so withdrawn lately, barely leaves her room. I thought maybe doing something productive would help her feel better. I watch my son's face, watch him process this. Part of me wants to scream, to tell him that I stay in my room because it's the only place I feel safe, that I'm withdrawn because every time I try to talk to Jessica, she finds a way to make me feel like an inconvenience. But I don't scream. I watch. I want to see what he'll do, what kind of man I actually raised. Mom doesn't need to feel productive, Daniel says slowly. She needs to rest. She just lost Dad 6 months ago. Harold. My Harold. The grief hits me sudden and sharp, the way it always does. I grip the edge of the counter, trying to pull myself up, but my knees won't cooperate. Daniel moves toward me, but Jessica is faster. Let me help. She grabs my arm, her nails digging in through my cardigan. To Daniel, it probably looks like she's being supportive. But I feel the pressure, the warning. You poor thing, let's get you up. She hauls me to my feet, and pain shoots through both knees. I bite back a gasp. There we go. Jessica steadies me, her arm around my waist. Her voice is all sweetness now, performative concern. Why don't you go rest, Mom? I'll finish up here. She's steering me toward the hallway, toward my room, but Daniel steps between us. Wait. We all freeze. Daniel looks at the floor, really looks at it. At the bucket of gray water, the scrub brush, the spots I missed, the ones Jessica kept pointing out. Then he looks at the clock on the microwave. 4:47 p.m. What time did you start cleaning, Mom? I hesitate. Jessica's nails dig deeper into my side. I don't. I'm not sure. After lunch, I think? After lunch. Daniel repeats it slowly. He looks at Jessica. So she's been on the floor for, what, 3 hours? I told you, she insisted. On her knees, for 3 hours, with arthritis. Daniel, you're being dramatic. Where were you? His voice is louder now. While she was scrubbing our floor for 3 hours, where were you? Jessica drops her arm from my waist. Excuse me? It's a simple question. The temperature in the room drops 10 degrees. I was here, Jessica says icily. Watching her, actually, to make sure she didn't hurt herself. Since apparently I'm the only one who cares about her well-being around here. You were watching her? Daniel's jaw tightens. You were watching my 72-year-old mother scrub the floor on her hands and knees, and you didn't think to stop her? She's an adult, Daniel. I can't force her to. Yes, you can, his voice cracks. You call me at work if I forget to pick up milk. You call me if the neighbors park too close to our driveway. But my mother is on the floor in pain, and you don't think to call me? I've never heard him yell at her like this. Not in 6 months, not ever. Jessica's face goes red, then white. Maybe I would have called if you ever answered your phone. But you're always too busy, aren't you? Too busy for me, too busy for… Don't. Daniel holds up a hand. Don't turn this into something about you. Silence. I stand between them, my wet pants clinging to my legs, my hands throbbing. I feel like a child caught between divorcing parents. I should go lie down, I whisper. Neither of them looks at me. Daniel runs a hand through his hair. He's breathing hard, his chest rising and falling like he just ran a mile. How long, Mom? My heart stops. What? He finally looks at me, and his eyes are wet. How long has she been having you do this? And don't lie to me this time. Jessica goes very still. I open my mouth. Close it. Every instinct screams at me to protect him, to lie, to keep his world from falling apart. But then I see it, the wet spots on the floor where my knees were, the dirty water in the bucket, my red, swollen hands. The evidence of what I've become. Daniel, your mother is confused, Jessica starts. I'm asking her, not you. His eyes never leave mine. Mom, please. The word breaks me. That please. A while, I whisper. How long is a while? Since I moved in. The words hang in the air like smoke. Jessica's face goes white. That's not she's lying. Is she? Daniel turns to his wife, and I've never seen him look at her like this, like she's a stranger. Is she lying, Jessica? Yes, obviously. She's old, Daniel. She's confused and grieving, and she's trying to cause problems between us. By scrubbing our floor? By manipulating you. The only person manipulating anyone, Daniel says quietly, is you. Jessica's mouth falls open. For a moment, nobody moves. Then Daniel looks at me, really looks at me, and asks the question that changes everything. How long has Mom been doing this? The air in the room goes ice cold. Jessica's face transforms in an instant. The anger melts away, replaced by something softer, sadder. Her eyes get glassy, her bottom lip trembles. I've seen this performance before, usually when Daniel questions where she's been or why she spent so much money. But never like this, never this desperate. Oh my God, her voice breaks. You actually believe her over me? Daniel doesn't answer. He's still waiting for my response, but Jessica isn't done. I have been taking care of your mother for 6 months, Daniel. 6 months of making sure she eats, making sure she takes her medications, keeping her company while you're at work. Taking care of me? The words slip out before I can stop them. Jessica whirls on me. Yes. Do you have any idea how hard this has been? How much I've sacrificed? Jessica, Daniel starts. No. She holds up a hand, and tears spill down her cheeks. Real tears. I'm almost impressed. You want to know the truth? Fine. Your mother has been depressed, Daniel. Severely depressed. She barely gets out of bed most days, won't talk to anyone, won't go to her therapy appointments. What therapy appointments? I ask. She ignores me. I've been trying to help her. The cleaning, the chores I read online, that staying active helps with grief, that having purpose helps. So yes, I encouraged her to help around the house, to do small tasks, to feel useful instead of sitting in her room all day staring at the wall. Daniel's expression shifts, softens slightly. No, 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 no. She's been so lost since Harold died, Jessica continues, her voice breaking on my husband's name. I thought if she contributed to the household, she'd feel like part of the family instead of a guest. I was trying to help. By having her scrub floors? Daniel's voice is uncertain now. By giving her purpose. Jessica wipes her eyes. You're at work all day. You don't see what I see. How she just sits there, looking at old photos, crying. It breaks my heart, Daniel. I've been doing everything I can to bring her back to life. She's good. She's so good. And I can see it working. See Daniel's anger crumbling into confusion, guilt, doubt. Mom, he turns to me. Is that true? Have you been depressed? How do I answer that? Yes, I'm depressed. My husband is dead. But that's not what he's really asking. I miss your father, I say quietly. But that doesn't mean... See? Jessica jumps in. She won't even admit it. She won't talk about it. I've tried, Daniel. God knows I've tried to get her to open up, but she shuts me out. Because you're not trying to help me, I say, my voice stronger now. You're trying to... To what? Jessica steps closer, and her tears are gone now. To make you feel welcome? To include you in our life? To keep you from wasting away in that room? You told me I was eating your food. The words explode out of me, loud and raw. Daniel's head snaps toward Jessica. You what? Jessica falters for just a second. That's not what I said. I said we needed to be mindful of the grocery budget because we have an extra person in the house now. Your mother is twisting my words. You said I was a burden. I press on. Because now that I've started, I can't stop. You said I was costing you money. I said we needed to adjust our budget. Jessica's voice rises. Which is true. Do you know how much your medications cost, Daniel? How much it costs to feed 3 people instead of 2? I was trying to have an honest conversation with your mother about finances, and she took it personally. Daniel looks between us, his jaw working. I can see him trying to piece it together, trying to figure out who's telling the truth. Mom. His voice is careful. Show me your hands again. I hold them out. They're still red, still swollen. The knuckles look worse under the kitchen lights. Daniel stares at them for a long moment. Then he notices something. His eyes narrow. He reaches out and gently touches my left hand, turning it over. There's a fresh blister on my palm, angry and red. How did you get this? I look down. I didn't even notice it forming. The brush handle, I think. It rubbed. When did Mom last see Dr. Chen? Daniel asks Jessica without looking at her. I'm not sure. A few weeks ago? Try 3 months. Daniel's voice is hard again. I checked the insurance portal last week. She hasn't been to physical therapy since January. She hasn't seen Dr. Chen since February. Jessica goes very still. You told me you were taking her to her appointments, Daniel continues. You said you'd handle it because I was busy with the Henderson project. She canceled them. Jessica's voice is defensive now. She said she didn't want to go. What was I supposed to do? Drag her? You could have told me. Daniel's hands curl into fists. You could have called me. You could have... He stops, takes a breath. When he speaks again, his voice is shaking. Mom, why didn't you go to your appointments? I don't want to say it. Don't want to admit how small I've become. But Daniel is waiting. And I'm so tired of lying, she said. I have to force the words out. She said if I bothered you at work one more time, she'd start looking at nursing homes. Silence. It stretches out, thick and suffocating. Daniel turns to Jessica so slowly, it's almost frightening. Tell me you didn't say that. Jessica's face cycles through expressions: shock, anger, fear. She settles on indignant. I was concerned. Your mother was calling you 5-6 times a day during work hours. About nothing, Daniel. What should she make for lunch? What channel is HGTV? Did I know where her reading glasses were? You were stressed, distracted. I could see it affecting your work. So yes, I told her she needed to be more independent. That maybe if she couldn't handle living here, we should look at other options. Other options? Daniel's voice is deadly quiet. You mean throwing my mother into a home 6 months after my father died? I didn't say throwing. What word would you use then? Jessica's mouth opens and closes. For the first time since Daniel got home, she has no response. Daniel looks at me, and I see it in his face, the horrible realization. All the times I went silent when he asked how I was doing. All the times I said fine when he asked if I needed anything. All the times I stayed in my room instead of joining them for dinner. Oh my God, he whispers. Mom, why didn't you call me? I did. My voice cracks. Once. Remember? 2 months ago. I called because I fell in the bathroom and I couldn't get up. Daniel nods slowly. And I left a meeting to come home. And Jessica told you I was being dramatic, that I just wanted attention. You were fine, Jessica snaps. You were sitting on the bathroom floor, perfectly capable of getting up. You just wanted. I had been there for 40 minutes. The words come out flat, dead. I called you first, Jessica. You were downstairs. I called for you, but you had your headphones in. So I called Daniel. And by the time he got home, yes, I had managed to pull myself up using the towel rack, which is now loose, by the way. Daniel stares at his wife. Is that true? I had my headphones in. I didn't hear her. For 40 minutes? I was on a call with my sister. You were watching TV. I don't know where this courage is coming from, but I can't stop now. I heard it when I finally got the door open. That reality show you like. The one with the housewives. Jessica's face goes scarlet. How dare you? How dare I? Something inside me snaps. How dare you? I am 72 years old. I lost my husband. I lost my home. I have nothing left except my son. And you have spent 6 months trying to take him away from me too. That's not. You wanted me gone. My voice is shaking now, but I don't care. From the beginning, you smiled and hugged me and told me to stay as long as I needed, but you wanted me gone. Jessica's eyes flash. You're damn right I did. The room goes silent. Even Jessica looks shocked by her own words. She takes a step back, her hand flying to her mouth. But it's too late. The mask is off. Daniel stares at his wife like he's never seen her before. What did you just say? Jessica's voice is desperate now. Daniel, I didn't mean. What did you just say? I meant that I wanted her to get better, to be independent again. Not that I wanted her to leave. You're twisting my words. No. Daniel shakes his head slowly. No, I don't think I am. He walks to the counter and picks up his briefcase. For a moment, I think he's leaving, but instead, he sets it down and opens it. He pulls out his laptop. Daniel, what are you doing? Jessica's voice is high, strained. Something I should have done 3 weeks ago. He opens the laptop and turns it to face us. And what I see on the screen makes my blood run cold. The laptop screen glows in the dim kitchen light. At first, I can't make sense of what I'm seeing. Numbers, columns, dates. Then my eyes focus, and I realize it's a bank statement. Their bank statement. What is this? Jessica's voice is tight. Daniel doesn't answer her. He's looking at me. Mom, I need you to see something. He scrolls down, and I watch the numbers blur past. Then he stops on a date. March 15th. This is the day after you moved in, he says quietly. See this charge? $847 at Nordstrom. Jessica moves closer. I needed new clothes for work. You work from home. Daniel keeps scrolling. March 22nd, $623 at that spa you like. March 29th, $1,200 at that furniture store downtown. We needed a new couch. We didn't get a new couch, Jessica. She goes quiet. I look at the screen, at all those numbers. Each one hundreds of dollars, some over 1,000. I don't understand, I say. Daniel's jaw clenches. Neither did I, not at first. He scrolls further. April 3rd, April 10th, April 17th. Every week, sometimes twice a week. Charges at restaurants I've never been to, stores I've never heard of, hotels. Hotels? The word comes out before I can stop it. Jessica's face goes white. Daniel, those were for what? He finally looks at her. Business trips you never told me about? Meetings that aren't on your calendar? I can explain. Please do. His voice is ice. Because I've been trying to figure it out for 3 weeks now, ever since I got the credit card bill and saw we were $23,000 in debt. I feel the air leave my lungs. $23,000? That's impossible, Jessica says, but her voice wavers. That's not the card limit, is. $25,000. Daniel pulls up another screen. Which you requested they raise 6 months ago, right before Mom moved in. The pieces click into place with horrible clarity. Oh my God, I whisper. Jessica's eyes dart between us. This is not what it looks like. Really? Daniel's laugh is bitter. Because it looks like while you were making my mother scrub floors and telling her she was costing us too much money, you were spending thousands of dollars on yourself. That's not fair. You know what's not fair? His voice rises. My mother has been living in fear for 6 months because you convinced her she was a financial burden. You made her feel guilty for eating food, Jessica, for taking her medications. While you were... He stops, his hands shaking. While you were doing what, exactly? Jessica's mouth opens and closes. I've never seen her speechless before. Show her the folder, I hear myself say. Both of them look at me. What folder? Daniel asks. The one she showed me last week, with all the receipts, my medications, my groceries, everything I've cost you. My voice steadies as I speak. She had it all calculated. Showed me how much of a burden I was, down to the penny. Daniel turns to Jessica slowly. You made a folder? I wanted to be organized, to track our expenses. Show me. Daniel. Show me. Jessica's face crumples. For a second, I almost feel sorry for her. Almost. Then I remember the floor, the bucket, the way she stood over me with her perfect nails and her cruel smile. It's in the office, she whispers. Get it. Jessica doesn't move. She's staring at the laptop screen like it might save her somehow. Now, Jessica. She flinches at his tone. I've never heard him speak to her like this, cold, commanding. This isn't my soft-spoken son. This is someone else entirely. Jessica walks out of the kitchen. Her heels don't click anymore. She's walking carefully, quietly, like she's afraid of making noise. Daniel and I stand in silence. I can hear the clock on the wall ticking, the hum of the refrigerator, my own heartbeat. I'm sorry, he says finally, not looking at me. Mom, I'm so sorry. You didn't know. I should have known. His voice breaks. You're my mother. I should have seen it. I want to comfort him, but I don't know how. My hands are still throbbing, and I'm exhausted down to my bones. Jessica comes back, carrying a manila folder. She sets it on the counter like it might explode. Daniel opens it. Inside are pages and pages of printed receipts, highlighted, annotated. There's my prescription from CVS, $167. My physical therapy copay, $45. Groceries with items circled in red. Mom's yogurt, $5.99. Mom's whole grain bread, $4.50. She tracked everything, every single thing. Daniel flips through the pages, his face getting paler with each one. You itemized her groceries? I was trying to understand our budget. You circled her bread, Jessica, her $4.50 loaf of bread. We were tight on money. No. He slams the folder shut. We weren't. I checked our account 3 weeks ago when I started noticing the charges. We have $47,000 in savings. We're fine. Jessica's mouth trembles. But your mother is expensive, Daniel. Her medications alone. $167 a month. His voice is flat. You spent more than that on a single dinner last week, at that steakhouse on 5th. I was meeting a client. What client? You're a freelance graphic designer who hasn't taken a new project in 4 months. The silence that follows is deafening. I was going to, Jessica whispers. I was going to take on more work. Just what? Daniel's hands are shaking. Just decided to spend our money instead? To make my mother feel like garbage while you maxed out our credit card? It wasn't like that. Then what was it like? Jessica looks at me, and for a moment, I see something raw in her face. Something almost like pain. You don't understand what it's like, she says softly. Having her here all the time, never having privacy, never being alone with my husband. Everything changed when she moved in. So you punished her for it? Daniel's voice is incredulous. I didn't. Jessica's voice cracks. I didn't mean to be cruel. I wanted my life back. Our life. By making her scrub floors? By threatening her with nursing homes? I was angry. The words explode out of her. I'm allowed to be angry, Daniel. Your mother moved into our house, and suddenly everything was about her. Her grief, her pain, her needs. What about me? What about us? You could have talked to me. When? Jessica laughs, but it's not funny. You're never here. And when you are, you're worried about her. Asking if she's okay, if she's eating, if she needs anything. When's the last time you asked me how I was doing? Daniel opens his mouth, then closes it. Exactly, Jessica says. You don't even remember. The room feels smaller suddenly, suffocating. That doesn't excuse what you did, Daniel says finally. I know. Jessica's shoulders slump. I know it doesn't. But I was drowning, Daniel. I felt like I was disappearing in my own house. She looks at me again, and this time there are real tears. I'm sorry, I am. But you have to understand, I didn't sign up for this. When we got married, it was supposed to be us. Just us. My father had just died, I say quietly. I know that. I had nowhere else to go. I know. And you made me feel like I was ruining your life by existing in it. Jessica flinches. I didn't mean. Yes, you did. My voice is stronger now. You meant every word, every look, every time you made me feel small. She doesn't deny it. She just stands there, tears running down her face, looking more lost than I've felt in months. Daniel closes the laptop. I need to ask you something, and I need you to tell me the truth. Jessica nods, wiping her eyes. The hotels, he says. On the credit card statement. What were they for? Her face goes pale again. Daniel. The truth, Jessica. She looks at the floor, at the walls, anywhere but at us. I needed space, she whispers finally. Sometimes I would just drive, park somewhere, sit in hotel lobbies and pretend I was someone else, someone without responsibilities or, she stops. Or what? Or a mother-in-law living in her spare room. The words hang there, ugly and honest. Daniel stares at his wife for a long moment. Then he asks the question that changes everything. Were you alone? Jessica's eyes go wide. What? In those hotel lobbies, those restaurants. Were you alone? Of course I was. Don't lie to me. His voice is quiet, dangerous. Not now. Not after everything. Jessica's face crumbles. She opens her mouth, closes it, opens it again. And in that hesitation, in that split second of silence, I see the truth written across her face. She wasn't alone. Daniel sees it too. His face goes completely blank, empty, like someone just reached inside and scooped out everything that made him my son. Get out, he whispers. Daniel, please. Get out of my sight. It's not what you think. I don't care what it is. His voice is still quiet, but it cuts like glass. I don't care if you kissed someone or just talked, or I don't care. Get out of this kitchen right now before I say something I can't take back. Jessica stands frozen. Now. She runs. I hear her footsteps on the stairs, hear a door slam upstairs. Daniel and I stand in the kitchen alone. My son looks at me with eyes that are too old, too tired, too broken. Mom, he says, and his voice cracks on the word. I should have seen it sooner. The house is too quiet. Daniel stands by the counter, hands gripping the edge like it's the only thing keeping him upright. His knuckles are white, his breathing is shallow. I don't know what to do. Don't know if I should speak or stay silent or leave the room. Then I hear footsteps upstairs. Fast, angry footsteps. Jessica appears at the top of the stairs. You want to know the truth? Her voice echoes through the house. Fine, let's talk about the truth. She comes down the stairs too fast, stumbling on the last step. Her face is blotchy from crying, but her eyes are hard now, furious. You think I'm the villain here? She points at me. She's been poisoning you against me since day one. Jessica, don't. Daniel starts. No. You wanted truth? Here it is. She walks toward us, and I take an involuntary step back. Your precious mother has never liked me. Not when we were dating, not when we got engaged, not when we got married. She smiled to your face, but I saw the looks, the little comments. Are you sure she's the one, Daniel? She seems a bit high maintenance. I just want you to be happy. I never said. You didn't have to say it. Jessica's voice rises. It was in every word, every gesture. You never thought I was good enough for your son. My throat tightens, because part of it is true. I had reservations. What mother doesn't? But I tried. God knows I tried. That's not fair, Daniel says. Mom has been nothing but supportive. Supportive? Jessica laughs, wild and bitter. She moved into our house and took over our lives. Do you know what it's like, Daniel? Living with your husband's mother, watching your every move, judging every decision? I wasn't judging. You were, she whirls on me. Every time I ordered takeout instead of cooking. Every time I slept in on weekends. Every time I forgot to do the dishes. I could feel you thinking it. That's not how a wife should behave. That's not how I raised my son to expect a woman to act. That's in your head, I say, but my voice wavers. Is it? Jessica's eyes are wild. Or is it the truth you're too polite to say out loud? Daniel steps between us. This isn't about Mom. This is about you spending $23,000 and lying to me about it. I spent that money because I was miserable, Jessica screams it. Actually screams. Because I felt trapped in my own house with a woman who hates me and a husband who's never home. I'm working to pay for our life. Our life? What life? She gestures around wildly. We don't go on dates anymore. We don't talk. We barely have sex. Jessica. Daniel's voice is sharp, embarrassed. But she doesn't stop. When's the last time we had dinner alone? Just us? When's the last time we stayed up late talking or laughing or doing anything that didn't involve checking on your mother? She needed us. What about what I need? Her voice breaks. I'm your wife, Daniel. Doesn't that mean anything? The words hit him. I can see it in his face. Of course it does, he says, quieter now. But that doesn't excuse. I know. She's crying again, hard sobs that shake her whole body. I know it doesn't excuse what I did. But you have to understand I was drowning. Every day felt like drowning. And nobody was saving me. Nobody even noticed I was going under. She collapses onto the floor, right where I was scrubbing earlier. Her designer jeans soak up the dirty water I never finished cleaning. I didn't mean to be cruel, she sobs. I needed someone to see me, to choose me, just once. Daniel looks torn. I can see it, the part of him that wants to comfort her warring with the part that's furious at what she did. I should feel vindicated, triumphant even. But all I feel is tired. You made me scrub floors, I say quietly. Jessica looks up at me, mascara running down her face. I know. You made me feel like I was worthless, like I didn't deserve to exist. I know. You threatened me with nursing homes, made me afraid to eat food in my own son's house. I know. She screams it, raw and broken. I know what I did, okay? I know I'm a terrible person. I know I don't deserve Daniel or this house, or... She stops, gasping for air. I know. The kitchen is silent except for her ragged breathing. Daniel runs his hands through his hair. He looks 10 years older than he did an hour ago. I need to know about the hotels, he says finally. The whole truth. Jessica wipes her face with her sleeve. There's no affair. Jessica. There isn't. She takes a shaky breath. There was someone. A guy from my college alumni group. We met for coffee a few times. Talked. That's all. That's all? Daniel's voice is dangerous again. We talked about our lives, our marriages. He understood what it was like to feel invisible. So you had an emotional affair. It wasn't... She stops. Slumps. Maybe. I don't know. It never got physical. We never even kissed. But I thought about it. I wanted to. The admission hangs in the air like poison. Daniel closes his eyes. What's his name? Does it matter? What's his name, Jessica? Trevor. She says it so quietly I almost don't hear it. His name is Trevor. Do you love him? The question makes my stomach turn. Jessica looks at her husband, really looks at him, and fresh tears spill down her face. No, she whispers. I don't love him. I barely know him. I just liked how he made me feel. Like I mattered. Like I was more than just this. She gestures at herself, at the wet floor, at everything. Daniel is silent for a long time. Then he walks to the counter and picks up his phone. What are you doing? Jessica asks, panic in her voice. Calling my sister. Why? Because Mom needs somewhere to stay tonight. He doesn't look at either of us. She can't be here for this. Daniel, no. Jessica starts. Yes. His voice is firm. She's been through enough. She doesn't need to watch us tear each other apart. He dials. Puts the phone to his ear. Wait. I find my voice. I don't want to leave. Both of them look at me. I'm not leaving, I say again, stronger this time. This is about me too. I deserve to be here for whatever happens next. Mom, you don't need to. Yes, I do. I'm surprised by how steady my voice sounds. I have spent 6 months being silent, being small. Letting her, I look at Jessica, make me feel like I don't matter, I'm not doing it anymore. Daniel lowers the phone. I want to hear what you're going to do, I continue. Both of you, because whatever you decide affects my life too. I don't have anywhere else to go, Daniel. This is it. So I'm staying, and I'm hearing this, and then we're going to figure out what happens next. Jessica stares at me like she's seeing me for the first time. Daniel's eyes are wet. Okay, he says quietly. Okay, Mom. He ends the call before it connects. We stand there, the three of us in that kitchen, with the dirty water and the broken trust, and 6 months of pain spread out between us like broken glass. I think, Daniel says slowly, we need to talk about what happens now. Jessica nods, still on the floor. But first, he continues, looking at his wife, you need to answer one more question. Okay. If I asked you to choose right now between making this marriage work and making it easy, what would you choose? Jessica's face crumples. That's not fair. I know. Answer anyway. She looks at him, then at me, then back at him. I'd choose hard, she whispers. I'd choose you. I'd choose hard. Daniel nods slowly. Then he turns to me. Mom, same question. If I asked you to choose between staying here and letting us figure out our marriage, or leaving and finding somewhere else to live, what would you choose? My heart stops. Because that's the real question, isn't it? The one we've all been dancing around. Can I stay here? Should I? I look at my son, my beautiful, tired, heartbroken son, and I realize something. He needs to choose her. Not because she deserves it, but because he made vows. Because marriage is work. Because love isn't just about the easy moments. But he also needs to know I won't disappear, that I matter too. I'd choose. I take a breath. I'd choose whatever lets you be happy, even if it's hard. Even if it means... The front door crashes open. All three of us jump. What the hell is going on here? A woman's voice, familiar, angry. Daniel's sister. Sarah stands in the doorway, phone in her hand, eyes blazing. Your pocket dialed me, she says to Daniel, and I heard enough to drive straight here. She looks at Jessica on the floor, at me with my swollen hands, at Daniel with his broken expression. Someone, Sarah says slowly. Better start talking. Now.